CBS News projects Joe Biden as the winner of the presidential election, defeating President Donald Trump after a chaotic first term marked by a global pandemic, a battered economy, and controversy, leaving the nation divided. Hello again, I'm Max McGee. After more than 3 days of uncertainty after Election Day, Pennsylvania's 20 electoral votes propelled the Democratic ticket above the 270 threshold needed to win the White House. CBS's Michael George is in the president-elect's hometown of Wilmington, Delaware, with the latest for WJZ.
Across the nation, thousands celebrated the news.
Oh my goodness, I was so excited to find out that Joe Biden is our 46th president.
After Joe Biden became the projected winner of the 2020 presidential election on Saturday, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris made this historic phone call.
We did it, Joe. You're going to be the next president of the United States.
And the president-elect released a statement saying, "I am honored and humbled by the trust the American people have placed in me and in Vice President-elect Harris." At 77, Biden becomes the first to defeat a sitting president in more than a quarter century. And Harris is the first woman and person of color to win the vice presidency. The decisive blow to President Trump comes as he cites baseless and unsubstantiated allegations of election fraud. He's vowing to wage a legal battle.
These lawsuits will be brought starting on Monday.
The president golfed in Virginia Saturday and tweeted, "I won this election by a lot." Supporters of President Trump rallied in several cities, including Atlanta and in Lansing, Michigan. Here in President-elect Biden's hometown of Wilmington, Delaware, hundreds of people have been celebrating in the streets for hours. Many told us they've never felt prouder of their country.
Everyone is in a good mood. We're all ready to move on.
As ballot counting continues, President-elect Biden is leading in the popular vote by more than 4 million. Michael George, CBS News, Wilmington, Delaware.
Okay, soon after CBS News called the election for President-elect Joe Biden, people spontaneously celebrated. Natalie Brand is at Black Lives Matter Plaza near the White House with more for WJZ.
Champagne was poured as supporters of President-elect Joe Biden gathered outside of the White House Saturday.
We've been keeping vigil for the last 3 days, trying to, waiting for this moment.
People filling Black Lives Matter Plaza also cheered Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, the first woman and first person of color voted into the position.
Madam Vice President it means a lot to me. So, we finally have our woman in power in the White House. It's so overdue. So overdue.
The pressure of the election burst into celebrations across the country, from Los Angeles to Biden's hometown of Wilmington, Delaware.
I've been having voters' anxiety. It is all over now. We have a new president, Biden and Harris.
It's a party-like atmosphere here with dancing and singing, and a lot of people in this crowd are also hoping for unity after a fiercely fought election.
I hope that we can disagree without being ugly to each other, and that Biden can repair some of the fracturing that's occurred over the last 4 years.
But supporters of President Trump also turned out in protests across the country.
Donald Trump needs us now.
And some are not ready to recognize the legitimacy of the election.
There is no way in hell they're going to get me to believe that sleepy Joe Biden got more votes than Obama.
The nation remains divided for now, and demonstrations are expected to continue. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
All right, let's bring in Stetson Miller now, who's live in Fells Point. He has more reaction from Maryland political leaders as well as Baltimore locals who are downtown celebrating. Stetson.
Hey, Max, yeah, we spoke to some pretty excited people today. Glad to hear the news that Biden is now president-elect. And we also did speak to some of our local leaders saying that they were congratulating Biden and also calling for us all to come together now after this very divisive election.
I'm super excited.
I think this is a really good day for American democracy.
It's nice to just see something hopefully solid.
Baltimore area residents and local leaders happy to hear on Saturday that former Vice President Joe Biden is now projected to win the presidency.
I've been hoping that Biden will pull through. I think that he is the change that our community, our country, needs at this moment.
Senator Ben Cardin said he was very excited about the election finally being called for Biden.
To me, it's going to return to the White House someone who will tell the truth, who believes in science, that will represent all Americans.
Senator Van Hollen says this is a time when the American people can come together after months of divisive rhetoric.
This is a moment where the country, I hope, will pull together, begin to heal some of the wounds. And Joe Biden has said that that's his goal. That's what he wants to do.
Others were just glad to hear about a projected winner after days of waiting for the election's results.
A little bit of relief. We're not over yet, but this is at least a step in the right direction.
And now some say they're optimistic about what Biden can do for the country.
Hopefully him and Vice President Harris comes in and be the change that we need.
And Mayor-elect Brandon Scott also congratulated Biden on Twitter today and said he's looking forward to seeing what his administration can do for Baltimore and the country. We're live in Fells Point. Stetson Miller for WJZ.